Greetings, people. It's Jared here, Wolfgang One, back to do another Transformers review. Now, the whole point of me starting these reviews again from scratch was so I could look at figures that I've not looked at for a very long time, like a decade or something like that, and try and be more objective to them. Now, time has passed, and everything like that. And I've noticed that I've not done too many re-evaluations of things. So I thought I'd correct that, so to speak. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be taking a look today at one of my all-time favourites. I remember picking this guy up about 2010, 2011, and just loving it from the moment I got it. And this review will show you why. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the re-evaluation review for Generation 1 Trailbreaker.
Right. Okay. So here is Trailbreaker in his box. When I bought this, I ended up buying off eBay the Mexican version. It said Mexican or Spanish or something like that. I couldn't remember which. I think it's Mexican. And it came with its box. It came with, I think, one accessory, which I think it was the panel at the back of the head or something like that. And I think it came with instruction booklet as well, but it didn't come with anything else. So I ended up having to rebuild this over a period of time. I put rep labels on it as well. I cleaned it up. I can tell you now that looking at my spreadsheet, the figure and the box cost me £20. Restoring all the parts and everything like that, getting all the parts back together, including the instruction booklet, product sheets and shit like that, cost £13.84. And the insert is a reproduction. It's not a real one, but it's a reproduction one, and that cost $8.99. Now this was back, I think 2010, 2011 or something like that when I originally did the review on Trailbreaker. So it's been about a decade since I looked at this guy. I don't really tend to fuck around with him that much because he is quite loose in his joints. But that's due to his age. He's got a bit of paint chipping, which I'll come on to in a bit of chrome wear. He is showing his age considerably, but I have to say, like, sort of, one of the things I love is restoring Transformers to their former glory. It doesn't matter if the box is real, if it's a reproduction or whatever the case may be. Getting all the parts together, putting it all back together, and everything like that is for me like fantastic. Like I did with my Optimus Prime, and having Trailbreaker in this condition. Because I didn't have Trailbreaker as a kid, I had Hoist. And having Trailbreaker like this, for me, is almost as fan wanky and like giddy feeling of a 4-year-old as having Optimus Prime in his box. Weirdly enough, I'm going to be putting up a series of photos on my Facebook page soon of figures that I've managed to restore and put in boxes and everything like that. So do look out for that. I dare say it's going to be something at least. So yeah, I had Hoist and not Trailbreaker as a kid, and because when I was a little kid, essentially I was a fucking idiot. And I always wanted Trailbreaker. I didn't realize that essentially they were the same toy with a little bit of remolding and everything like that. It was only years and years later when I finally got Trailbreaker, I was like, oh, this reminds me a bit of Hoist. And I got Hoist and went, yeah, obviously they're the same figure. It didn't occur to me that they were basically sharing the same base design, same mold, same transformation, just like recolor and retooling. If I'd have known that as a kid, I wouldn't have lamented so much about not having Trailbreaker, even though I do love Hoist as well. So the box has seen better days, as you can see. I mean, I decided to take this flap down because that's just like all shades of fucked, really. There's wear on the corner at the top there, as you can see. It really has seen better days, but to me that just adds to the charm of having Trailbreaker in this condition. Trailbreaker's, far from perfect in terms of his build quality these days. The box is far from perfect, showing its age. For me, that is very much part of the charm. Now, I do buy reproduction boxes and box inserts and sort of things like that, which I'll come on to when I do a collection update video. I've got something that I want to show you guys. So for me, it's nice to have like something akin to the original packaging if I can't get hold of it in its original form. So Trailbreaker, as I said, yeah, he's 100% complete. So let's put him off to the side and show you some of the things that Trailbreaker would have come with. He would have come with this instruction booklet, which actually, considering its age, is actually not in bad condition at all. Obviously, I'm always very, very careful with these because the paper's so thin, but that's actually in pretty good condition for its age. So yeah, he came with one of those. He would have come with a 1984 product sheet, which is this here. You've seen these before, but I still think these original product sheets are absolutely fantastic. Again, really good condition. He would have come with one tech spec decoder. I'm not sure why every Transformer came with a tech spec. Oh, actually, yeah, in case you didn't get Optimus Prime or something like that, I was going to say they could have just done one tech spec decoder for like an entire faction. And it would have gone sort of over here, but the Mexican box that doesn't appear to have it. So he would have come with one of these on the UK market, and he would have had his specs just on the back here like that. So it would have come with one of those. Would have come with a black left and right fist like this. So they're plug-in things now. You know how I feel about plug-in accessories like hands and that, but in terms of Trailbreaker, I guess it kind of makes sense to a degree because there are other things that can plug into those ports. So left and right fist, black. He would have come with one head scanner that fits into the back of the skull. I think this has been. I might have tried chroming this at one stage. I'm not sure if it's this or the other one, but that kind of looks a little bit dodgy in its paintwork. So if you're wondering that, that's probably me. He would have come with two of these, which plug into his left and right arms in the absence of a fist. They're also supposed to be able to plug into his back somehow, but I've never worked out a way of doing it. I've always seen pictures of Trailbreaker with two of these on his shoulders, and I've never sussed out how to do it. So that's a mystery to me. And he, like Hoist, he would have come with two of these little dual cannon things that plug into the arms as well. I've never displayed Trailbreaker with one of these. Actually, I've never really displayed Hoist with them either. I mean, they are a play option, but it's just never something I've bothered with. So yeah, so that's all the accessories that he would have come with. And now I think it's time to crack him out of this dilapidated box and take a look at the figure itself. Okay, so here is Trailbreaker in his alt mode. He transforms into a Toyota Hilux 4x4. I've never seen a Toyota Hilux of this design before, this camper van design. I worked at a really big hostel up until I think end of 2020, and there was a guy who drove a Toyota Hilux, a modern day Hilux, but it was a flatbed. And every time I looked at it, it was silver. It wasn't much to look at, but every time I looked at it, I went, huh, and just read on the back Hilux. I was like, huh, Trailbreaker. So that was that for me. Not a very interesting side story, but there you are. So yeah, so this is Trailbreaker in his 4x4. Now there's something about this. There is something about this toy, about the design. I don't know what it is. There is something about this that I absolutely adore. This, I think, maybe because it's one of those designs that quintessentially sort of sells the robots in disguise thing. Because this is a fantastic alt mode. It looks like it could be a real world vehicle. It's a decent construction. Well, it would have been at the time. Mine was loose as fuck. It's a decent construction of injection molded plastic and die-cast metal. The die-cast metal is on the front bonnet just here, and just on the underside here where the feet are. So he got a Repro label sticker treatment. Now, I found a sticker label for this guy where half the stickers have been unused. So I looked this guy over, and I discovered that all the stickers are exactly where they're supposed to be. So I think what happened was the original stickers I had from Repro labels, the glue on these bits here was shit and were coming away, and I contacted them. Yeah, it must have been it, because I contacted them and said, like, not very good, blah, blah, blah. They sent out a replacement sticker set, is the only thing I can imagine. And I've used the stickers that weren't doing too well. And so I've got half a sticker sheet spare for this guy. So if anybody needs spare stickers for Trailbreaker, let me know. I've got half a sticker sheet that's not being used, mostly for the robot mode parts. So this was originally a Diaclone vehicle, and therefore he's got this little section up here where you can fit a Diaclone driver on the inside. It comes with his like little rub sign and that. So the rub sign was put on by me. So I think this was either a 1984 pre-rub, or this was a 1985 where the sticker, the rub sticker had just fallen off. But that pre-rub sticker is one that I applied. There is something about this. It's got a decent amount of weight to it because of the die cast and everything like that. There's something about this that I absolutely adore. And Trailbreaker, and by extension Hoist, are some of my absolute favourite G1 toys, because when I finally got this guy, again, it was like a kid at Christmas. I was like, fucking Trailbreaker, brilliant. And then realising it was also the same as Hoist, and I went, oh, my twat. But yeah, rubber tyres. The tyres are still in really, really good condition. The chrome's going a little bit on the wheels. There's chrome wear on the underside where you can see where his legs will be and things like that. And these sections are very loose on this joint just here. Nothing I can do about that because I'm not willing to take it apart to try and fix it. And obviously, as I said, the paint chipping on the forward wheel arches and forward sections and the fenders of the vehicle. Chrome wear around the bumper as well. And I gave him his name on the back as a like a number plate, license plate thing. So yeah, decent amount of weight to him, a decent sculpt, a decent color. There's nothing really about this vehicle, this figure, apart from the fact that robot mode does look a little bit awkward by today's standards. I still think is awesome. Having said that, however, in the Earthrise, they did release Trailbreaker and Hoist in Earthrise, and or Kingdom, or one of the two. And the designs are very, very much taken a mixture of the cartoon and aesthetics from this, and I'll come on to the aesthetics from this in a bit, and it being quite chunky in the abdomen section. So yeah, he's great. You know, apart from the fact that, as I said, mine was really, really showing its age by being loose as fuck. This is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Not much more I can really say about the alt mode, really, apart from the fact that I would dearly, 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 dearly love to see this in Masterpiece form. Now, I know we've had third-party takes on Trailbreaker. I can't remember from what companies, but the designs on the robot and the designs in the alt mode particularly are quite different. And, you know, Takara are giving us fucking the train bots and Star Saber and this like that. You know, and here's me, like a prick, waiting for an official MP Trailbreaker. Hint, fucking hint. You know, this guy here would sell by the fucking bucket load. I don't know. And obviously you've got a retool of it into Hoist, and then you've got your retool for the Diaclone colours that you end up putting in. This figure would pay for itself. So Takara, get on that shit, right? And give me the figure I really, really want for my Masterpiece collection. Because I guarantee you, this vehicle mode in Masterpiece form would look like all kinds of sex, basically, is where I'm going with that. And obviously the silver Autobot movie emblem on the front there. I did that with most of my G1s when I re-sticker them, tried to give them silver emblems on their as their identification thing. So there we are. So transforming this guy, yes. So we're going to start with popping out these whole side panels here and lifting them up like a gull wing, like that. I'm surprised actually that they're staying in place. You learn something new every day, don't you? And then you want to bring this entire section up. Do you know what? Let's zoom out a little bit. There we are. Bring this entire section up, and then this section comes down. These will then split apart. You can see that. I mean, fucking hell, you can see how loose they are. You want to separate the legs, and then clip them in. There's a little notch just here and a little notch just here, and they want to basically notch into this metal bar down the bottom. Okay, so once you've got them extended, clip it in. That's not going anywhere. Then bring these solid metal black sections down for the feet. You want to rotate those forwards, and that's the legs done, and that's the feet done. And then it basically, because of its age, everything just basically falls apart. So you want to basically bring this back, bring the back canopy back as well to form his back, and then lift this section out for the head. That goes on the top like that, and then basically adjust these sections, bring it forward, bring this section out a little bit, and then you can plug in the extremities should you wish. That's basically the transformation for this guy. Let's just pan the camera back a little bit so you can take that in. That is basically Trailbreaker in his robot mode. An awkward looking son of a bitch with a Cylon face. But then we give him his parts. So we'll start off, we'll give him this head scanner, which plugs into fuck off. See what I mean? Loose as all hell. Plugs into the back of his noggin just there, like that. Then we'll give him his little left hand, I guess. Left hand can plug straight in there. And right hand obviously will go just there. And that would be Trailbreaker in his basic form. Now, this whole sticking these things down here, there is nowhere, fucking nowhere for these to go. I've got no idea how. Maybe it was original production model. I don't know. They changed it. But you're supposed to be able to have these like this. There is nowhere for these fucking things to go, right? So ignore that. Let's get rid of this hand. Stick this in here to try and make it look as cartoon accurate as possible. And ladies and gentlemen, blurry fucking picture aside, there is Trailbreaker in his robotic glory. As I said, I don't bother with these. These are an option, but I don't bother with them. And there he is. A simple transformation. A simple looking robot. But again, due to the die-cast metal in the gut section and the feet, holds a little bit of weight, which is lovely. Articulation-wise, not really anything to speak of. The arms will go around 360 on this little hinge just here. I tend not to do that too often because that is clear plastic that could be liable to shear off at some point. The head won't stay on because everything is loose as hell. Not much to say about him really in terms of articulation because it's a first generation. Well, it's a G1. You know, it's a 1984 G1 model. So there's a little bit of chrome wear just on his arms here. Again, there's chrome wear along the legs and everything like that. That's to be expected. This guy is old. This guy is like 1987, 1984, sorry. We're now 2022. This guy's like, what, nearly 38 years old or something stupid? And the fact that, you know, he's in one piece at all, I think is quite amazing. He's got a little bit of dust there that I tried getting rid of, didn't work. But it's the real robot in disguise thing. Look, there's the front wheels, there's the back wheels, blah, blah. He's got car parts hanging off him. He looks like he is just, you know, turned from a 4x4 vehicle. You know, maybe the design suffers a little bit in terms of the fact that he's got a massive fucking beer gut. But do you know what? If anyone asks, we'll just say he's from Essex. You know, there's not a lot articulation. There's not a lot of colour apart from the black on the offset, the red with the chrome. You know, there's not taking the stickers into account. He doesn't scream amazing, but he is. There's something about this design, and I can't tell you what it is for the life of me, but there's something about this design that is quintessentially a robot in disguise. I fucking love this. I don't. Sometimes I think, oh, you know, I recommend this, I recommend that. Sometimes I think, oh, I won't recommend things because it's not my place to tell people to go out and buy shit. But come on, people, this is G1 Trailbreaker. You know, as awkward as this fucking robot mode is, and let's face it, most of the robot modes for G1s are awkward as fuck because, you know, it's not really easy to get a bipedal form out of a machine. But I think this you know does it fantastically. You know, I think the reissue version from Takara and that had a blue visor across here. Maybe a new head sculpt would have been nice, but it's got a blue visor instead of a red one. There's not really much else I can say about it. I would heartily recommend, if you don't have a G1 Trailbreaker, ladies and gentlemen, then personally, in my honest opinion, and it's only my opinion, but I think you're missing out. I am exceptionally lucky to have been in a position where I was able to actually get the figure and its box and then be able to basically rebuild it over time, recomplete it. And even though the box has seen better days for me, it's, you know, and the figure's seen better days, it's now in a condition where it was, you know, basically the day it was picked up a shelf and bought. It's got everything with it. It's got everything it needs. And it's nice to be able to say I own a complete version of something that I didn't own when I was little. That for me means that means a lot. You know, not much of a character to speak of with the G1. He was mostly background filler and everything like that. But I don't give a fuck. I think the toy's fantastic, and that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about character, we're talking about toy. And this toy, despite the paint chipping, despite the chrome wear, despite the fucking awkward proportions and that, I think, personally, is cool as all bollocks. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching my review on Generation 1 Trailbreaker. This is Gerald Gavin Barry, also known as Wolfgang One, saying I'll be back in the near future with more 7 Days to Die, and more reviews, more fucking whatever else I'm supposed to put on my channel these days. I've got a collection update video, which I think might have gone out by now. I'm not too sure, but do check back for that one because that's there's stuff in there that basically nails to a T what I was talking about in terms of being a G1 collector. So yeah, do hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to reading your comments. Please rate, comment, subscribe, hit the like button because it helps the channel grow apparently, and I'm not seeing much evidence of that. Yeah, just do all the things that YouTubers tell you to do. Let's see if I can't get my channel growing a little bit. It would be nice to hit 1,000 subscribers eventually, because I would like to do Fortress Maximus at some stage. So, ladies and gentlemen, do hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you soon. Take care.
And when tomorrow comes, I feel you laying by me, like you ain't got nowhere else to go.